Hi, welcome to Passion for Life with Dee and Friends, and I'm Dee, and I have one friend today, and she actually has come all the way from England, and she's going to share her passion. Of course, my passion is about sharing, about educating, and helping people live a better integrity of life. But, hello, Janice.
Hello, Dee. Hello, viewers.
Well, she's coming from London, and I'm like so happy. I just met you, but I feel like I've known you forever.
Oh, awesome.
Yes. And well, I don't know whether you got a chance to see my show previously, but usually when you first come on, I have to ask you, what's your passion for life?
Okay, a passion for life. My passion for life is just living unapologetically, being authentically you.
Okay.
No apology, just being you.
You. Okay. And that's when I met you on Tuesday. We were at a women's empowerment program, and you just came out there by yourself.
Yes.
Didn't really know anybody. You met a mutual friend of ours through the internet.
Yes.
And I was so impressed. So, and you were so warm, but you took the railroad out there. So I was like, how is this young lady gonna get back? But I guess you won't take the railroad back. But since you were going in my neighborhood, I offered.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. But you were involved with this group. You want to explain what the group was about?
Well, the group is Brave Art Woman, and I'm quite new to the group, so I'm still learning.
Oh, okay.
And I'm getting familiar. So that was my first meeting.
Oh, okay.
And as I am living in London, in the UK, I did communicate to other Brave Art women that I will be in New York City promoting my book within the month of August.
Right.
So they invited me to the New York City group.
I see.
It's a Ripple meeting.
Yes, the Ripple meeting.
Yes, so I'm still learning.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so what I can appreciate so far is a group of women who are supporting and encouraging other women to be their best self, be their authentic self, the self that you were meant to be, you were born to be, awesome, and you know, all that, showing up and just making your contribution as women to the welfare of our society, to lead your family, to make an impact in society, and so on. So that is what I've got so far, you know, bringing forward women, you know, as leaders, you know, bringing together your feminine and your masculine, you know, gaining that balance, you know, and so on. So that is what I've gotten so far, and I'm quite pleased to be a part of such a group, learning to balance my own energy, my feminine with my masculine, so as to be the best version of me.
Right. Well, that's how I feel to a certain degree too. And I actually, when I went to my first meeting, this was my second meeting, and I really didn't know too much about it. I was invited probably the night before, and I said, had to be there. So I made myself available, and it was all about giving and receiving, because we as women always know how to give.
Yeah.
But guess what? We don't know how to receive as graciously as we should. We should just take it in.
Oh.
And you know, so now I'm like taking it in. I'm meeting people and like you, and then we went and hung out the other day too.
Sure. Have some fun.
Well, what happened was what? I said, well, you know, since we were driving home, what do you like? Have you been out dancing since you've been here in New York? She says, no. I said, well, let's go. So next day we went out partying and had a good time.
Yes.
Met some more folks. And it was good.
It was great.
Very good.
Awesome.
So what are you doing here in New York at this point?
Well, as you hear, I'm Janice Rivas. My background is in teaching. I'm a qualified social worker also. I am Jamaican by birth. However, I have been living in the UK for the past 9 years, where I have been practicing as a local authority social work. So I, was employed by the local government within the UK. However, over the past year, I have been, out on my own, working independently as an independent social worker, where I write family reports for the family court in children issues. However, over the past 3 months, I have made a further transition whereby I have written a book.
Okay.
It's entitled Damn It, I'm Worthy, 7 Steps to Transforming the Relationship with Yourself.
Right.
And, there are many books out there about relationship, between you and, an intimate partner, or between you and, anybody else, whether your parents, whether your child, whether your colleagues, or so on. There are so many relationship books out there. However, due to my journey that I have taken as a person, I saw the need to write, a book sharing my personal story of abuse and loss. As a child, I have suffered sexual abuse.
Really?
And
Oh
I've seen whereby, as a result of, being abused as a child while you're vulnerable, personally, I have learned to control my relationship, especially my relationship with men. So I've learned to control, to ensure that I wasn't vulnerable. So I love men and I enjoy my relationship with men. However, I had to have some level of control.
Right.
And as a result of being abused, I have come to realize that I possibly was seeing myself as wounded, as damaged, as not good enough for what I desire. So I have recognized a pattern whereby I was forming unhealthy relationship. I was forming a relationship with men that I didn't really see the possibility of a long-term relationship. I even got married to 2 of those men. So I got married twice to men that I didn't see the longevity of that relationship.
How old were you when you got married?
I first got married when I was 21.
Okay.
And then that marriage went on for 13 years. And 5 years later, after that divorce, I got married a second time, and that marriage lasts for 3 years. However, at the ending of my last marriage, which was last year, October, I felt like life had forced me to stop and to examine my own patterns, my own life. How was I feeling? Why was I forming unhealthy relationship?
Well, that's fabulous that you recognized that you needed to kind of like take a step back.
Yes.
You know, rather than just continue in the same vein.
Yes.
So that's amazing.
Well, my background is counseling and psychology, and I have worked with children and families for the past 2 decades. So I have analyzed other people's life and their patterns and so on, and their capacity for change and so on. So it was good to use my own medicine on myself. And so I took some time out where I reflected, and I spent some time, you know, using different self-healing methods. I spend time in nature, just sitting around in the grass or among the trees and just reflecting and just practicing different breathing exercises and so on, and just reconnecting with me.
So how did you come about going into that type of breathing and reconnecting? And you
Well, I've read a whole lot of self-help books.
Okay.
I've read a whole lot of self-help books. I listen, I view videos on YouTube. So I'm always interested in personal development and self-help methods. So I read a lot and I, you know, view a lot of videos on YouTube and so on around, you know, healing and so on. So I've taken on my own journey of healing and reconnecting with me, with my worth, with who I am.
Where did you get that name of the book? It was like, because I started reading it, yeah, and it's I know it's one of those books that I'm going to read again and again and again. But I, of course, because we've been hanging out, haven't been able to read as much as I had wanted to. But from just even lady that our friend that we met together, or we know together, Laura. Laura and I talked about you today. And because she wanted to come out, but wasn't able to make it. But she was saying that she started feeling the energy, and I'm like, oh yeah, definitely that energy is in there. When did you write the book?
Well, I wrote the book in April of this year. So I just took about 4 weeks to kind of put it together.
That fast?
Well, as I say, the book, I use my personal life story as a vehicle to kind of discuss the whole theme of abuse and loss and the impact it can have on a relationship. So the main theme in my book is abuse and loss and relationship. Relationship with self, relationship with others, and how if you have a weak relationship with self, how it can impact on your relationship with others. So therefore, the foundation of every other relationship is your relationship with self. So I use my story as a vehicle to take other women through their own healing. So it presented as a self-help in some way. It's a self-help book in some way. It is my story. However, I bring forward the learning from my story. So it's a long route around to answering your question, what am I doing here in New York City? My book was published, officially published on the 5th of August, 2015. I had started my pre-launch promotion in the UK with a group of 4 other authors, female authors in the UK. So we have been through different venues in London, in Nottingham. I'm heading back home to the UK. We are going to Birmingham. Then we're going to head on to Manchester. So we have been touring the UK. And knowing me, I think this is the time for me to launch out and just to take a risk and to venture out in the unknown. So New York City to me is the unknown. I venture out here without any invitation. I paid my way here, and I ventured out with my 2-year-old son. So therefore, I am saying that there is no excuse.
No, there is.
There is no excuse. I'm not giving myself any excuse why I'm not able to fulfill my dreams. And writing material to empower women, that's my dream. I am passionate about empowering women. I am passionate for women to fall madly in love with themselves.
Oh I am you,
passionate. So I am committed to travel the world to speak to women in intimate setting. Last week, Saturday, I was at Sister Uptown Bookstore in Harlem.
Really?
And I did a reading there. And then we had an intimate discussion on the topic of abuse and relationship. It was intimate. There were tears, there were laughter, there were encouragement among the different, guests there. It was an intimate setting, and it was powerful. It was life-changing. It was transformational, and that is my passion, and that is my aim as I travel from city to city, from country to country. I am a global, I have a global perspective. So I'm here in New York City. I'm thinking of Atlanta in April. So I'm heading back home to the UK to finish my UK tour. Then I'm thinking of, I'm planning on Atlanta.
Claim it, girl.
In April. And you never know, New York City might be back on the board. I'm open to an invitation to come back to New York City. It might be on the board in the near future. So I'm quite flexible, and I'm quite open for the speaking engagement to speak at women's conference, women's workshops. I'm quite open for different speaking engagements. And my book is on Amazon, and also I offer online, home study program for women who have read my book, but they would like a bit more support. So I have designed that home study program. It's an 8-week program that goes through the different topics such as self-love, self-care, forgiveness and self-compassion, the power of gratitude, writing your new story of success and empowerment. So it's taking women through the process where they can get in touch with the best freaking awesome version of themselves.
Well, I saw that you had the reflections, and I was really feeling that. I was like, wow. Because every chapter or every couple of paragraphs or what have you, you have a reflection. And it is making you think about who you are and what you can do. And that's important. We are awesome. We have so many things that we can do, but then we put limitations, and that's not a good thing. So what we're going to do is probably take a break in a few minutes. We're going to go to a commercial, and maybe you can read a little excerpt from your book.
Awesome.
So we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
What are you looking for? You don't even know that. You're on the ball list, so you can't even answer. I'm asking you about it. You gotta be highly skilled. You understand that? Are you well versed there? Are you very smart man? Hit me with some funny shit.
My shit's twisted.
Tell me something.
What do you have right there?
That's awesome.
Well,
that's a big.
That's nice.
You know damn well.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Sir, Hey, are you interested or not?
Yes, I am.
Sure. See, you got twisted.
You see what I'm saying? You understand me? And if you can't whip out answers like that, that man is liable to during a commercial break punch your fucking mouth loose. You understand me? Time is up, sir. You understand me? You're on. You're the man. All right, give me your name now. I'm sorry.
My name is Willie.
Willie, where you working at?
We are twisted. We are awesome. Love it. Can you repeat that question again?
Hi, welcome back to Passion for Life with Dee and Friends, and I'm Dee, and I'm here with my friend Janice, and she's going to share something out of her book. What is your book's name again?
It's Damn It, I'm Worthy. 7 Steps to Transforming the Relationship with Yourself.
Hey, I'm telling you. And I can't wait to finish reading the whole book, but what are you going to share with us today?
Well, it's quite intimate, but it's already out there. So I am going to share from my experience of suffering sexual abuse as a child. I think it's an important topic that is not talked about enough. And I think with me talking about it, it is empowering to other women who have suffered similar experiences but feeling stuck like they are not able to talk about it. So they're feeling stuck in all that emotion. Also for parents, for caregivers, you know, it's to build an awareness so that, you know, parents, caregivers will take better decisions around the care of their children. You know, where you allow your children to sleep over, who you allow your children out with. You know, be more aware, more sensitive, not to turn the blind eye on things that you're concerned about. If you're concerned about any interaction between your child and, you know, an adult, you take steps to protect your child.
That's it.
Yeah, so it's to build an awareness.
Definitely. Yeah.
So I will be reading from chapter 1. It is entitled The Ordeal of Midnight. My midnight ordeal began sometime around my 9th birthday when I moved to a new neighborhood in Kingston, Jamaica. I had previously lived with my mother, stepdad, and siblings approximately 3 miles away in a neighboring community. Their relationship had broken down, so my mother, along with her 5 children, moved to this new home in this part of inner city, Kingston. Our house was one amongst a number of houses on a large plot of land owned by one person. In Jamaica, we would call it tenement yard. So it's one landlord with a number of tenants. Life was a bit rough, but I was having too much fun to notice. We had to do without some of the comfort we previously enjoyed while living with my mother and stepdad, such as having a television. My siblings and I, 3 older and 1 younger, would travel to the home of one of my mother's trusted male friend at nights to view our favorite childhood movies that included anything starring from one of my favorite heroes, Bruce Lee. I was always so excited to go to my mother's friend's home because our television was broken and we didn't have the money to fix it. We affectionately called our mother's friend Uncle Herbert. Out of respect due to his age and to him being a close family friend. As I was the youngest of the group, I was the youngest of the group. I would many times fall asleep before the movie started or midway viewing it. Uncle Herbert lived on his own in a one-bedroom apartment. Hence, all his furniture, including the television, was in this one room. While viewing our favorite programs, as children, we position ourselves around the room, some sitting on the floor, some sitting on chairs, some sitting on, on his bed. Anywhere that would give us the best view of the television as we eagerly awaited to see our childhood eras on screen. When the movie was finished, Uncle Herbert would let my siblings return home without me and allow me to sleep in his bed.
Oh my.
Even though I always felt so good in his bed, I had no idea of his evil intentions. You see, until this time, I was trusting and carefree. I saw beauty in almost everything and everyone. I was pure, untouched, innocent, light-hearted, and happy. I saw the world in which I lived as safe and friendly. I had faith in adults to look out for my good and to protect me. I giggled about anything and everything that tickled my fancy. As a family, we didn't have much fortune, but life was amazing, at least in my little world. I was contented, yet lived blissfully and had a zest for life. I had some of the happiest memories of life before my 9th birthday. I didn't have a party, or within my family, it wasn't the practice to have one to celebrate our birthday. Therefore, on this occasion, my mother ensured I got dressed up in my fancy clothes, and I had a special home-cooked meal. My favorite was curry chicken and rice. I played ball game outdoor with my friends for most of the day. The day was perfect. I didn't miss having a birthday party, as I never had one before this point, so I never thought I lost anything. Then one hot summer night, everything changed forever. As usual, I fell asleep watching my hero Bruce Lee beat up the bad guys. I was already in dreamland when my siblings returned home. I was somewhat awakened by this vicious hack, but still half asleep. I must have thought I was dreaming. The lights were off. The bedroom was in utter darkness, so I wasn't sure if this was reality. I felt pain and discomfort. I was afraid for it to continue, but too afraid to do or say anything to stop it. I must have fallen back asleep, thinking I was having a bad dream. I awoke from the bed of despair next morning, feeling bewildered after this horrible act. I returned home to my family, not as I left the previous night, but aged and matured, far beyond my chronological years. The previous night was too much for my young mind. I was only 9 years old to process, so I decided that it was easier to pretend that nothing happened and it was just a bad dream. This night, I felt robbed of something precious, personal, and priceless. In my head, I was screaming, somebody, anybody, please help me, help me, help me. Couldn't anyone see the pain in my eyes? Couldn't anyone see I was hurting? Couldn't anyone see I wasn't this carefree child I used to be? I was left bruised, emotionally lamed and disoriented. I was numbed. I screamed for help, but I could only hear the sound in my head. I was dumbed. Shame became my trusted friend. Shame felt safe, somewhere that I could hide out. Oh, Uncle Herbert, you should have protected me and nurtured me, but instead you violated me. This was the beginning of my experience of sexual molestation at the hand of Uncle Herbert throughout a 3-year period.
Did you ever tell your parents or anybody?
Well, as you know, if you buy the book,
Well,
you
I'm
will
going to finish reading the book.
You will. No, I'm just speaking to your audience. You will realize that further on, I went on to just open up and pulling apart how vulnerable we are as young children, and how in my young mind I thought possibly my mom would just know what's happening and would just come and rescue me and save me and protect me from this horrible monster. You know, in my young mind I thought, I thought in my young mind that that would have happened. And it's so similar of children. You know, and this whole experience was so horrific. As I said, I was numb. So
what we're going to do when we come back, we're going to discuss a little more about the book and then how you started recovering.
Okay, thank you.
So we'll be right back.
Galaxy Luxury Coach is a full-service limousine and party bus company. Family-owned and operated, we are an industry leader with over 25 years of experience in providing best-in-class luxury transportation for your special event. Whether it's your precious wedding day, an all-day wine tour out east, your high school prom, that special birthday, or just an amazing night on the town, our professional chauffeurs stand ready to ensure your special event is truly special. Galaxy Luxury Coach has one of the largest and modern party bus fleets in the New York area. Our party buses are simply nightclubs on wheels. Concert sound systems, light shows, lasers and strobes, multicolor LED lighting brilliantly lights your party bus inside and out. For corporate and more laid-back events, we will cater to your specific needs and requests. What sets Galaxy aside from all others in the luxury transportation industry is our attention to detail in customizing our services to your special event. At Galaxy, it's all about you and your guests. Galaxy customers return time and time again because they know they can trust Galaxy to help deliver those lifetime memorable moments. Step aboard and let your Galaxy experience begin.
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching, doing it to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. If you find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
Hi, welcome back to Passion for Life with Dee and Friends, and I'm here with your niece, and I am Dee, and we're just having this conversation, and it's just amazing. She just read a good portion of her first chapter, and we're like, questions. What happened, you know? So when did you tell your mom?
Well, I actually got around to telling my mom during the process of writing my book.
Wow.
And I believe I only told my mom because the story was going to be out there.
Yeah.
So out of respect, I, disclosed to her what had happened.
Right.
I believe as a child, sex wasn't something that was discussed in my home or in my community.
Right.
Everybody was having sex, however, nobody discussed it. So all children knew it was something that possibly, if revealed, you will get in trouble or so on. So we weren't taught about inappropriate touch, appropriate touch versus inappropriate touch. So my experience was quite horrific. So as a result, as I read, that I pretended that it didn't happen.
Right.
I pretended it didn't happen, even though my abuser groomed me in such a way whereby I returned to him willingly afterwards, as he would ensure that I get my favorite biscuit. So I guess in some way there was some contract where I felt like, no, I can't say anything because I'm getting my favorite biscuits.
Yeah. But question, now, why would your mom think it was okay to leave a young girl with him by yourself at night when there's only one bed?
Well,
did you ever ask her?
Well, I opened up the conversation with her, and as I said, I didn't go to my mom for any relief. Right? I only opened up the conversation with her because I was going to put it out there, and I didn't open up this conversation either to blame her for anything, because I think that she in herself wasn't an emotionally strong, empowered woman.
Right.
That's why I'm so passionate about empowering women, because some parents, some mothers in particular, they will suspect that their child is being abused, because they're not feeling empowered, they will turn a blind eye to it. I am not saying that she knew, because this person should have been Uncle Herbert. So therefore, it was a scenario where all went to watch television and I fell asleep. So if he's my protector, it would be okay for him to, when I make a bed on the floor or in a settee for me to sleep. So if he was my protector, so therefore, so I think I dealt with it in my own way as a child. I don't know why I dealt with it that way. Sex wasn't something, or abuse wasn't something that was openly discussed in my home, in my neighborhood. I think my example of, you know, of young girls getting involved with men, the example that I know of as a young child wasn't something where the young girl is being protected. The young girl was seen as somebody who is bad. She loved big men and so on. So it wasn't something that would encourage me as a young child to disclose, to say this has happened to me and so on. So in my young mind, I needed to be protected. That's what I know at this point, that I needed to be protected. And you can't leave it up unto a young child, age 9, to be coming to you to say, this has happened to me. Because remember, it is your trusted friend. How is it are you going to say, Uncle did this? How is it you're going to cause this disruption between your mom and a trusted friend? Plus, the whole experience would have been traumatic. So if a young child age 9 has experienced trauma, it's not a straightforward way of just coming to say, oh, this happened to me. Trauma might even stop a child from speaking, or even cause a child to, you know, stop progressing academically. It may cause, you know, mental health issues, all kind of impact when a child experiences trauma. So my way of dealing with it was to keep it inwardly, you know, and deal with it my own way. So I kept it, you know, for most of my life. And later on, you know, I got training in counseling and psychology. So I did my own work on myself.
Did you ever go to somebody and share all of this?
I didn't think it was necessary, because while we are being trained, it's like we are working on ourselves with all the different counseling methods. We're working on ourselves. So I think I'm quite self-sufficient. So I didn't see the need. I didn't see it impacting on my life in any big way.
Do you still think that you might go out one day and go and just get some, you know, because sometimes, okay, you have training and what have you, but I know myself, I had some challenges at one point, and negativity and all that, but I did find that going to somebody and sharing and crying, because I was going through my parents my mother, my dad was very sick, and it just impacted me, because I was there helping, but it was taking a toll on me, just being the caregiver, and I could not really deal with it without crying all the time. You know, my blood pressure, things, my health was getting affected, and I realized I couldn't do it myself. I needed to share. And even though you have done so much and become this beautiful, empowered woman, you know, because my goodness, you have, and to write what you have. What is it? Damn it.
I'm worth it.
I'm worth it.
I'm worthy.
And I'm worthy. Yes. And you know what? We all are worthy. So we have to embrace that for sure. But sometimes it's good to share it with somebody else.
Well, I'm sharing it with the world.
Yeah, you are doing that.
I'm sharing it with the world. Plus,
what am I talking about?
I think that we do what is considered peer counseling, because I have other peers who are equally trained counselors, trained social worker. So we talk through issues. So I talk through relationship issues with my peers. They talk through with myself. So when you go through the book, you will realize that even the very process of going to my mom to talk through, I first talk it through with one of my peers. Before going to her. So as to kind of get myself at the place whereby I am allowing my mom to give her truth, and I am not projecting anything on her, and I'm not expecting anything from her, because she may not have the answer. So I first have a discussion with my peers. So I think I'm in a good place.
Okay. No, I see that you are. And one question. What did your mom say?
Well, she said she didn't have any idea that anything like this had happened. And, you know, it's her trusted friend. So I don't know if she will confront him about it. However, that's another thing. But my aim at this point is not blame. It's not about blame. I do not feel any sense of, you know, hatred or anger towards this man. I actually feel sorry for him, because it is abuse. It is people that are hurting that hurt other people. So therefore, I kind of feel, you know, a sense of sadness for him, that he must have been hurt to hurt a 9-year-old child. Well,
you know what? When we come back, we got to talk about how you're talking about how you healed yourself and how you're going to empower all of us women to just get to a better place. So we have to go for one more commercial, and we'll be right back.
After all the candles are blown out, after the last toast of the night, Cambridge paving stones with Armortech stand the test of time. Beautifully designed, built to last. Only Cambridge paving stones have Armortech, our unique process that produces a rich, distinctive color. Create your own memories with Cambridge paving stones. Visit CambridgePavers.com.
Cambridge paving stones with Armortech will always look like new.
To make the donuts. Dunkin' Donuts are always fresh. I made the donuts. We make them at least twice every day. Time to make the donuts. Not a few kinds, like supermarket. Made the donuts. Time to make the donuts. But up to 52 varieties. The donuts. Time to make the donuts. I made the donuts. Dunkin' Donuts, up to 52 varieties, fresh day and night. No supermarket can say.
Hi, I'm Tom Mealy from Madhousetv, and when I'm not at the studio, I'm here at the Harrison Law Group. This is my real job. And this January 2015, Brett and I are putting together a show called Legal Straight Talk. It'll be aired on Cablevision as well as here at Madhousetv. You need to tune in. This information that we're going to be giving the public is the real deal. It's all about what you should do, what you shouldn't do. So tune in this January 2015 for a new episode of Legal Straight Talk.
Hi, welcome back to Passion for Life with Dee and Friends, and I'm here with Janice, and she's my new friend, and we're having such a great time, and time is just flying. So, hey.
Hey, Dee. Hey, you out there.
Well, you know, she's going to be going back to London, but when you come back to New York, you're definitely going to be on my show again.
Oh, sure.
Okay. And then we might even have to Skype you in.
Okay.
Okay,
awesome.
because we only touched on it, and then you have to tell us how the book is going. Actually, one of our friends here, she's off camera, she's doing her research.
Okay.
And she was like, wait a minute, I want that book. But so she went on Amazon And she's like, we're gonna have to do some, but we're gonna have some books here too, because I told you leave some with me, because I'm gonna make sure that they get sold. You know, and I'll get you your money.
Thank you.
But it's amazing. I can't wait to finish reading it, because your energy has been phenomenal, and what you're trying to do for us as women to empower us is just, we need that. You know, so many people don't realize that they need to share, and sharing will empower us to just grow and make us better. And that's why I'm here, and I know that's why you're here. And it's just so good. And the back with the lessons are amazing. I didn't get a chance to read it. I was so disappointed with myself, but I will be reading it again and again and again. And I'm going to be calling you, so you're going to have to answer my questions and help me out, and hopefully you'll give me a little break so you won't charge me.
Okay.
But how did you come to find yourself and say, this is what I need to give to everybody? What made you decide to do it in this respects, with the reflections and all that with your book?
Well, as I said before, that my training is in counseling and psychology, so I've worked with children and families over the past 2 decades. I've read many self-help books, so I love self-help books. You know, many times some people, they need the extra support, so they will go out and they will see a counselor, a psychologist, and some people spend years talking through their issues. But as we are different, we sometimes learn differently, and we are supported differently. So therefore, I find it that self-help books does a lot for me. Right? So for years I've been reading self-help books, and self-help books usually have some reflections in it that you can work through your issues, some exercises, activities that you can actually engage in, and so on. So that is where the idea came about of, if I'm going to share my story, it wasn't just for sharing my story. It was to share it in such a way, in a format that women in particular that read my story, they will have an opportunity to reflect on their own journey. Your story or your journey may not be similar to mine's. It might be emotional abuse, it might be physical abuse, it might be sexual abuse, it might be that you have lost relationships as an adult. You have lost relationship after relationship. You have a pattern of forming an unhealthy relationship. You're not doing so well with the relationship with yourself and the relationship with others. There is something in this book for you. So therefore, that is the reason I have written it in a self-help format, because not everybody, you know, want to go out and see a counselor or a psychologist, and not everybody have the finances to do so. But you're able to, you know, go to Amazon and get yourself a book for $15, but you may not have money to invest $1,000 into counseling and so on. So therefore, that's my motivation of writing, you know, sharing my story in a self-help format, giving reflection questions throughout, so that you can reflect as you read along. You can reflect on your own journey, and you can reflect on your own. I know that you are not alone. So this, with me sharing it, is to let you know you're not alone. And you know, if I have done it, I'm not necessarily saying you need to do it the way I have done it, but at least it open up your mind, give you a perspective that it is possible. It is to share hope.
So quick question. I know you said that you're going to be doing this online program.
Yes.
With respect to your book.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, how much would that be costing about?
The initial promotion, for the initial promotional period, it will be $97 US. It's a 8-week home study program. So that means you will go through the program on your own, and you will have email support. You know, you can email me and so on. So it's 8 weeks and going through the topics of self-love, self-appreciation, self-care, forgiveness and self-compassion, setting up boundaries in your relationship with others. You're setting up boundaries, making integrity-based decision making. And I'm very excited about the final topic in that program, is that writing your new story of empowerment and success. Because from every life experience, there is the opportunity to look at it differently, and to see who have you become as a result of your experience. You know, I have become more compassionate. I have become an aware mother as a result of my experience. So my children were blessed with a better mom as a result of my experience.
Okay, so we only have like maybe 2 minutes.
Yes.
Okay. So you gotta give me your website.
Yeah.
You gotta give me all your details, Facebook, whatever you have. Tell us the name of the book again, your name.
Okay.
You know, throw it all out there, and
Okay.
so that we can, you know, like wrap it up. And
Okay.
I'm gonna miss you though.
All right. So my book is Damn It, I'm Worthy. 7 Steps to Transforming the Relationship with Yourself. You can get my book on Amazon, and it should be in Barnes and Noble, but Amazon is the main distributor of my book. For further information about Janice Rivers, you can go to www.janicerivers.com, and you can read up a bit about what I'm doing, a bit about my story, a bit about my company Transform Now, and the mission that we have to empower women globally. My passion is to work with women all around the world. So I will be, you know, heading back to the UK, but I will be back in the US, and I will be in the Caribbean at Women's Conference. I will be in Africa, Asia, you know, the 7 continents of the world. I will be a world traveler, because wherever women are, I will be there, you know, empowering. So I'll be sharing in conferences, workshops, different events for women around the world. And
So do you have a Facebook page?
I'm available on Facebook. So if you put in Janice Rivers, I'm there on Facebook. There's a lot going on my profile, because Facebook kind of limit the interaction on my page. But there's a lot going on my profile. You can check my profile. It will give you update as to what's going on, where I'm at. And, you know, you can contact me through Facebook. You could send me a message through Facebook if, you know, you would like for me to share, to collaborate in any way. I'm quite flexible, collaborating in any way. As you did mention about, you know, having me on with another author that write about, you know, similar topic. I'm quite flexible to speak with anyone via Skype.
And you're going to be doing your own counseling and helping people just grow better and share. And
well, I will be offering 8 weeks coaching program.
Okay.
So it will be based on the same topics of the home study program, because some people like a bit more interaction.
One.
Interaction. So whether it's telephone, whether it's Skype or so on, some people like that interaction. So I will be offering that, and that will be online via Skype. So wherever you are around the world, I can Skype you, and in the comfort of your home, we have that interaction, and I hold your hand as you take your journey, your empowerment journey. Also, for those who would like, you know, a VIP, you know, whether it's a weekend, whether it's a day or weekend, I'll
be there.
I can be there. I can be there.
Well, I'll tell you, Janice, I am so happy that you came.
Yeah, thank you.
And we're going to definitely do this again.
Thank you.
And it will be real soon. But we got to go now. So, safe trips.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for joining us with Passion for Life with Dee and Friends.